Did you know an average person spends 73 hours or 3 days a year and ultimately 92 days of their entire life on the toilet? Did you also know that there are 91 episodes now of QN, roughly 1 hour apiece, totaling just over 91 hours available for your listening enjoyment? So, while you're cleansing that colon, deucing on the dollar, or simply hiding from your family, you can catch up on our entire catalog. Get ready, because we're about to add another of entertainment for your next BM.
Nice.
I'm Matt.
I'm Jake.
And I'm Brandon.
And this is Qualified Nonsense.
I think we've already talked about this, but how often do you guys BM during work, and do you like take extra time because you know you're on the clock? I guess Matt, that's different for you.
I take my phone everywhere I go.
Yeah.
I poop as much as I want. Don't you judge me.
I mean, I try not to like go in public or anywhere other than home.
Choosing his words carefully right now. I hope they don't listen. I promise I don't do it at work. I only poop Saturday and Sunday.
I will admit that there was one time where I was in a meeting, and luckily it wasn't on camera, but I did have to take the laptop into the bathroom because I was having tummy trouble. And
wait. Okay. So this was through Zoom or Teams or whatever?
Yeah. Okay.
You don't need to take the entire laptop and aren't you connected to a Bluetooth?
Well, yeah, I guess. I guess
unless they're like, Brandon, do you have anything to add? Exactly. And you're like, unmute. Yeah. No.
Oh, God.
Hot. Sorry.
I've taken a laptop into the bathroom during a meeting before. And it's, and it's mainly because if I need to unmute to say anything, most of the time, no one wants to hear me.
Jake, do you have anything to contribute?
My ass. Yeah, but I've, sometimes I'm in meetings while on my phone, but I'm at a small enough company now that it's just very noticeable if you have your camera off. So
I don't know. I'm really self-conscious. Like, even if I have my phone in my hands and my earbuds in, and it's happened, like I'll be indisposed and a business partner will call me or a sales rep or something. I'll literally just ignore it and say, I'll call you in a few minutes. I don't want to be sitting, I don't know, it prolongs your time on there too. It's like, oh God, now you can't, I can't finish because you'll hear me flush.
Yeah.
Or you'll hear
or they say, can you write this down really quick? Or can you go grab, no.
Take this phone number down.
No, I mean, it's only been... No, I will say though, I don't do it like as a habit, or like if I just get the feeling, like I try to hold out. It's usually if there's been like if you're having a bad time in the
always seems to be after Taco Tuesdays.
No, I mean I'm on a pretty regular schedule, so yeah, unless there's some issue, I'm not really going in the middle of work.
Okay. Yeah. That's why I always time my first couple sips of coffee, very first thing, to be like, let's get this out before day starts.
You sent that meme of the first couple sips of coffee and what's his face from South Park, rising up with his shit.
Yeah. Hello. It's a thing. Anyway, yeah, toilet time. How's everybody doing? There we go. Took you long enough.
So I've got an update. This last weekend, my brother-in-law, who has a 6-month-old, was out of state and had minor medical emergency that my sister-in-law needed to go up and meet him for. And they have a 6-month-old, and they were like, oh my gosh, can you guys watch the baby for the weekend. And Anna and I were like, absolutely, because we want to show up when we can for our family members. And we're like, we've had 2 babies, like easy peasy lemon squeezy, right? And I will say that this baby is particularly well behaved, like super easygoing. But Anna, I don't know about you, Matt, but Anna and I were out of practice, and we were like, oh my god! And our house went from like mediocre clean to like an absolute disaster having one baby in the house. But so my weekend was like chock full of taking care of a 6-month-old baby, which was wild to dive back into.
Figuring out how to change a diaper again. Wait, boy or girl?
Boy. And actually the changing the diaper, I was surprised that I fell right back into that easy peasy. But it was just like because at 6 months he's like sitting up, but he still needs like full attention all the time.
Right.
The other thing
a pillow behind him.
Right. The other thing is that we don't have a high chair in the house, and she didn't bring one. His
Perfect.
mom
Just feed him on the floor.
Well, right, but then you still have to like, keep track of them and stuff. Anyway, it was fun, but it was exhausting. But my weekend was like taking care of an infant out of nowhere. And
let that be a lesson to all you other parents that like go to a wedding or whatever. And you're like, oh, we could do it one more time, right? They're so cute.
Yeah.
We could do it. No, watch one for a weekend.
Exactly. That's what I said. So right when my nephew arrived like an hour in, I was like, Anna, what do you think? Like, does this make you want to have another baby? And we're like, ha ha ha, laugh, laugh, laugh. And then like 2 hours later, we're like, fuck no. Like great kid, but also like,
didn't you get a?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, like it would be a,
but not impossible. Challenge accepted.
Yeah. I mean, you could still extract. I'm still producing. I mean, we can also adopt. My point being that like that's not a road that we're interested in going down.
Gross thing to say. I'm still producing. Sounds
Why?
gross. It just sounds gross.
Well, it makes you sound like a cow or something, or like a, like a farm animal.
What I still got about though, like if you picture like a little factory down there, like they're just working and working and working, and then just pitching product over the side. It's just going to
no.
nothing.
They're like delivering it to their
material.
They're delivering it to the manager, and the manager puts it on the truck, and then the truck like leaves the factory and drives off a cliff.
Yeah,
like they're all thinking they're doing a good job, but in the end, everybody's
that's
just
what
like,
my balls are doing. What are your guys' balls doing?
Stuff.
Cool.
Hanging around.
What did you guys get up to this last week and weekend?
I had a root canal.
Ooh.
Which one? Which tooth?
What's worth, a 6-month-old or a root canal? Hey.
I mean, I've had a root canal before, so I mean, both times were fine. They went smoothly. But it's on the bottom right, not the molar in the very back, but the one right in front of it.
Oh, see, I have a crown on the one in the very back. It could have been
the one in the very back.
buddies.
I had a root canal on, and then now
I'm
just working my way forward.
Yeah,
just yank them out.
Yeah,
well, that's unfortunate. Are you getting a crown on it?
Yeah. Well, the shitty thing is that I went to the dentist, and the dentist was like, "Okay, well, you're gonna need to go to an endodontist to get a root canal," and so I made the appointment at the endodontist, and I was able to be seen like within a week. And then the dentist was like, "Just follow up, and we'll put the permanent crown on." And so I called after my root canal, and the dentist or the receptionist was like, "Oh, the next appointment is in June." I was like, "What?"
Did you accept that? I'd be like, "Look, I just went."
Yeah, then the paperwork said that you're only supposed to have it in for like 4 weeks, but I don't know. I guess I'll have to hold out with the temporary till then.
That's what's crazy around here too, because Duke and UNC are such big hospitals. They're also just very, very busy, and so they'll say like the doctor, like you'll leave the office and they'll say like, oh, make a follow-up appointment for like next week, and then like you get out to the reception, you're like, I need to make an appointment for a week from now, and they're like, we don't have anything until like 3 months away, and we're like, well, that's not what the doctor said, and they're like, well, that's what the availability is. It's like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, what do
You guys
mean?
talk to each other?
Yeah, I know. Exactly.
I started rewatching The Sopranos this week, and oddly enough, I'd never seen the entire series start to finish, so I'm committed.
It's a good series.
I'm on the 5th episode of the 2nd season. I don't know. Like, I don't know if that show holds up very well. That might be an unpopular opinion with Brandon.
It does.
It's just like so over the top and kind of outlandish. The first season was pretty rough to get through. Like, not from a content perspective. It was just like, I don't think it was very well done.
The acting is super mediocre in the first couple of seasons.
Yeah,
not by Gandolfini or any of the main characters, but like all of the supporting characters. Basically, I think James Gandolfini and Edie Falco can do no wrong, but everybody else is like.
I watched it. I don't know, maybe sometime like during the pandemic, and like it. I remember it being like a lot funnier than when I initially watched it.
Than you originally thought.
Yeah, it's almost like just a dark comedy.
Yeah,
I could see that. Yeah, like I'm to the point now where they're, and this is something I appreciated about sitcoms that like they don't really do anymore. But like I'm at the episodes where they're in Italy, like they went to Italy to go meet the boss, and it turns out to be a woman. I don't know, like I find those always really exciting. Like they make me want to go traveling. Like when we used to watch, what was it, the TGIF, and it'd be like, oh, the Camdens are going to whatever. And it's like, oh, I want to see that one because they're going to be in Disneyland, even though like they own
it's a
ABC.
soundstage. Yeah.
But no, like they would actually go.
Oh, of course.
I found those episodes like so exciting because it's like, oh, it's not the norm, and this family's traveling. It makes me feel like I'm part of the family.
Yeah.
But yeah, I started rewatching The Sopranos, and the 2nd season's much better than the first. But we'll report back next week on the remainders.
Nice.
Yeah,
I periodically go through the YouTube algorithm, finds me and shows me like clips from the whole series, and the clips that it chooses makes me really want to watch it again because I'm like, man, what a solid series that was.
Yeah, it was.
And what a tragedy. I just think that we could have gotten so much more really wonderful content, and also he probably would have liked to have lived longer. But James Gandolfini, what a legend.
Yeah, he was meant for that role. But anyway, and like just like with as much as they eat in that show, I was like, oh man, I should make more like Italian dishes.
Yeah.
Like I feel like you could pretty much turn that
food show.
You could like turn the whole thing. Like there was even one of the episodes where they're in Italy and they're meeting like the head crime family that they are selling cars to. She's like, come down and eat. And he's like, Jesus Christ, you guys do anything else in this fucking family?
But another good eating genre of television is a lot of the, I don't know about the K-pop stuff, but like, or not the K-pop stuff, like the K-dramas, but there's like Korean, I think in Korean media, cinema and TV shows, so much like really good acting happens at like a meal table. And for whatever reason, I was on a kick, I don't know, probably 5 or 6 years ago, and I watched a bunch of these Korean movies, and a lot of the action, a lot of the like the high suspense, high stakes scenes happened around a dinner table, and they would just eat. They would like eat, and it wasn't like polite at all. It was just like they got down with like noodles, and it made me really get into sort of like Korean style cooking. And anyway, but I definitely recommend, because there were
I've
some
gotten
good
into that
shows
too.
but
Like,
the food element is just like really top notch.
it's kind of interesting you said K-pop, because I I meet these guys locally. Then we go to dinner. We try to go to dinner once every couple months all together. And the last couple times we've gone to the Korean barbecue spot that's here, and they have like 800 TVs in there playing two different things, but they're all the same. They're all different K-pop stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost more distracting, because the whole point is to sit there and eat as much as you can, like a buffet style, and you cook your own meat and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's almost like it's purposeful with how distracting it is, because you're like, what the fuck is happening? And that shit, like, you can't keep up with the K-pop music videos and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're wild.
And then you just like, yeah, you order some more. You're like, oh, I guess I'm still hungry. There's
Yeah.
flashing lights.
I just
and
want to see what happens next.
synchronized dancing. And
What's the like? Is it a Korean thing or is it Japanese? Like the videos of people like stuffing their faces and.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I know
the
what you're
people
talking
that
about,
just
too.
like the small girls that eat an insane amount,
Yeah,
and they're all like just like slurping. Like,
I don't know for sure the country of origin, but
it's an
I know
Asian
there's a
country.
term for it.
ASMR, like, because they don't really
But
talk.
I don't know that it's like inherently like a sexual thing. I think it's just people like
No, it's
watching other
just-
people eat.
Yeah.
I don't think ASMR is sexual inherently.
Is it
mukbang?
Yes, yeah, that's
the
it.
mukbang?
Yeah, it's Japanese.
So
Oh, okay.
the mukbang. Here's the hard thing, though, is of course it has to be appropriated. Like on TikTok, there'll be people like, join me for my mukbang, and it's like just some guy at a restaurant eating.
Mhm.
It's not like how it started.
They've
Like
gotten away
people eating tons of
from
food.
their roots.
Next episode of QN, you heard it here first. Join us for our mukbang.
Yeah,
I mean,
there's nothing more pleasant than listening to people chewing into a microphone.
And three guys eating a hot dog, like Jake would be on this end, I'd be on that end, Brandon would have a middle. You could just like Lady and the Trampet,
Nice.
the
I like where your head's at.
trifecta bang.
I'm into it. I think noodles would be really, like soup noodles would be really good on a podcast medium.
I think it'd be awful, because like, can you imagine like all the shit you would get everywhere? Like you get splatters on your screen and
flick.
There's stuff like splattering on the camera.
yeah. I feel like you're in a Gallagher show or something.
Yeah, right, exactly. That's a good
Ugh.
idea.
Do you guys slurp noodles? Do you go like when you eat noodles?
No, I
do,
usually
only to be
bite 'em.
contradictory and tell my
Yeah.
kids to stop chewing with their mouth open. Stop it. Chew with your mouth closed.
And the Dad of the Year award goes to
Yeah. Well, should
Go.
we take a slurp break and go? I got no transition.
Slurp some
Ready
Oh,
nudes.
to
that was
schedule.
good.
Slurp some
Did you say
nudes.
Slurp some. Oh, nudes. I thought you said dudes. I was like, all right.
I mean that too. We'll be right back with some questions. And welcome back. Feel free to drop us a line at qualifiednonsense@gmail.com or connect with us on our socials. Now's the time on the show where we take on Reddit's most pressing questions by finding the top trending questions, randomizing them, and answering them here. So our first one comes to us from the Ask Reddit subreddit, username Max the Champ. Max asks, those that have just turned 30 or are over 30, what changes have you noticed in your body?
Do you really want to know?
Everything hurts.
Are you guys generally more sore?
My
no,
back.
no.
My back
Okay.
is, yeah. I never used to have problems with my back, and now periodically it just I can move it wrong, or like not even my back wrong. I can just be like sitting and then like I have a twinge and I'm like, oh, okay, my back is fucked for
Nope,
a
I'm
week.
dying.
Yeah. Yeah.
I,
And
I
like
guess, yeah.
yeah.
I don't know about you, Jake, but like for me, it's I'll go to the trampoline park or whatever with the kids, or I'll
Oh,
ride
yeah.
bikes with them for the
Yeah.
day. And it's like I feel like I can still be relatively active, and then I know they're just like minor inconveniences. I think I felt like I've almost thrown out my back once, but outside of that,
Yeah, I think I don't think I properly threw it out, but I got really close and now it's super tender anytime I exert it. And basically what it means is that I need to exercise more and I don't do that enough. And I know that, so I could probably fix my own woes.
I've also
Yeah, I don't
noticed
really
I
have like
can
general.
literally gain weight overnight. Like it doesn't shed like it used to.
Yeah.
Something I heard, and I don't know if how true it is, but I read that your metabolism doesn't like meaningfully start slowing down until you're like in your 50s and 60s.
Oh, I'm gonna be really fucked then.
But
I think and this is based in with zero research and not scientific at all. But I do wonder how much. So just thinking of how my own personal life trajectory is that I was when I was in New York, I was like walking a ton, and then when it was just Anna and I, we were walking a ton. We were going out a lot. We were being more active, and while we have little stints of activity with the kids, we have more sort of business to do, like just like sustaining the house
Chauffeuring.
and chauffeuring and like and I wonder how much that just being present and active with the kids sort of takes it out of us. And what I'm getting at is that I don't think we're as active as we used to be. So it's that along with getting older, and it's tough to say like what's the culprit. But Ann and I have been talking about a lot how it doesn't take much for us to be like, winded and
I would
well,
say
and
I would
yeah,
say
I
more
think
active in just a different capacity.
as you get older and maybe you get to like a more comfortable station in life, you're not moving around as much, like Matt, a few episodes ago, we were talking about how when we worked at UPS, that was a physically demanding job, and we would ride our bikes there, and then we would also go to the gym, and like
right.
we were in our 20s then, and then now, I mean, I can't imagine your job is physically demanding. No, apologies if it is, but like I have a sedentary job now,
Yeah,
so
I'm at my
um,
desk
Yeah, same.
a ton.
Yeah, I mean,
but
but I would just say like I
I
think
take
having the
meetings from this
kids.
toilet.
I think
No.
the kids aspect is even busier, but I have to physically move less to do it. Like I'm not going on a hike. I'm not going on a long walk on the neighborhood. I'm just taking a long drive to the school to sit and watch you do track, or
Right.
take you to a play date and sit and watch while
do you think maybe
you know
as your kids get older, like like Margot's starting to do track now, that they're getting like kind of growing into their bodies, and they're able to keep up with you more rather than having little tiny legs that you have to go slower. Like
Mm-hmm.
maybe
it's also
that'll
true.
motivate you to go like, okay, let's now like go on a hike, and we don't have to like hold your hand or like make sure you're
Yeah,
not you can keep pace with me or whatever,
for sure.
like that kind of.
I
Yeah.
saw it was a long time ago now, but I think it was a Reddit post about someone being, um, basically being they were an uncle, and his two nieces were really entertained when he could pick them both up, and he made a like that was his inspiration to continue to get bulky, not bulkier, but like just stay fit. And as they got older, he still wanted to be able to pick them both up and that be like a fun thing. And so, but I've thought about that a few times because right now, the boys are playing soccer, so I'm out in the front yard a lot, and we're playing soccer a lot. So I actually get a fair amount of, at least short stint cardio. But
Beer in hand, of course.
beer in hand, yeah, and also like picking them up. Like I still like to pick both of them up and pretend like they're little kids, but they're getting pretty big.
I tried to do that with my oldest the other day, and she's 9 now, and she's incredibly tall for her age. And I was just like, oh,
Yeah,
just sad.
yeah.
It was like,
I
"Aw."
know. I when I pick Oscar up, the bottoms, like, so if I'm holding him like a kid, with what like sort of under the thighs or butt with my arm, his legs hang and they hang to my knees. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, there's not
Yeah.
even a point for me picking you up. You're
I've
Do you
wondered,
worry
like,
about when they get to the point where they can kick your ass?
Yeah. I used to work with a guy who used to be a friend of the pod. I don't know if he still listens, but he used to be like, have you
fucking
prepared
them.
yourself for the day that they're going to say that they hate you? And I was like, don't say that. And he said that like right when they were born. And then it wasn't
Not if
too
they don't
long
mind their
after
nose
that.
being broken.
It wasn't too long after that Oscar did. I forget what the circumstances was, but he was like, I hate you. And I was like,
Ooh.
oh, that's savage. And then I reported back to my buddy, and I was like, well, he said it. And he goes, oh shit, that was early. And I was like, yeah, I know. I was like,
You should challenge him to a fight, fist fight.
yeah, fist fight.
Say, if you really
Yeah.
hate me, let's see.
Yeah,
Put up your
do
dukes.
something about it.
Come out here and fight your da.
Flagpole, 6 a.m. Hang your own kid up by his underwear.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, no, mine haven't gotten to that. Ooh, man. I'm sorry that I'm sorry that happened to you, but I do have to say I hope that never happens to me.
No, that's okay.
Yeah, you got 2 girls. It's coming.
Yeah. They probably say it when they just go to bed every night. Like, fuck that guy. But it's
Good night. Fuck you.
No, we're dealing. We are dealing with the emotions. Have you guys seen the videos of the people that let their kids go into the bathrooms? Like the phone
What?
is recording.
I don't watch those kind of videos.
Let me finish. They put their kid in the bathroom and they have their phone recording, and they tell them, you can say any word you want in here.
Oh yeah.
But you can't say it the minute you leave the. And it's like these little kids that they'll come in and be like, fuck you. And it's like 6 years old. It's like, it's a compilation of all these videos. They're pretty funny.
I've seen one. I think the only one I saw was one of like this like super adorable English kid, and he's like, and she's like, Olivia gave him the phone. She's like, yeah, okay, so once I leave, you can say one bad word, okay? And he goes, okay, and he goes, when? He goes, I can say it now. And she's like, yeah, you can say it now. And he goes, cunt. Just like right into the camera. It's so good. He's just like, he's so happy about it.
Bollocks.
Just, I can imagine Brandon's interpretation of like some droopy English kid.
Fucking bastard. Bloody bastard.
He sounds like a beetle.
You right, wanker?
You know, our English friend Mike used to listen to this podcast, and he contacted me, and he was like, "You guys aren't very nice to the English." Well, right, exactly. He said you weren't very nice to the English, and I was like, "Yeah, sorry about that." And I'm pretty sure he hasn't continued listening.
I think my wife's English cousins have listened in every now and then, but I don't think they've ever caught this part.
Wait, are they English or are they Scottish?
They're English.
Oh.
Yeah, they actually, yeah. So they're the defectors or whatever you want to call them.
The
Tell them
do
to
think,
jog
like-
on.
I do. There is like, I feel like every time you see like an American kid versus an English kid go on a rant, like the English kid is still like nice about it. Like, you give me the change, yeah. But they're still like cordial and use manners. And
Yeah.
then you get the English kid, and they're just like, "Ugh, what kid says that?"
There's one time, a long time ago, I was in Disneyland, and there was a little British boy who was, maybe like 6, and it was in one of the stores there, and he lost something. I didn't know. I couldn't hear what he was missing, but like he was trying to trying to find whatever he was missing, and he was like saying just like to the story, he was like, "People of the world, open your bags, I've lost my," whatever it was, but
That's exactly what I mean.
but yeah, just like, "People of the world." It was
Like
really
a
funny.
Madonna song. No, there's just something so earnest about it. But if it was an American kid, he would just cry and like just scream.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
Sorry for the interruption.
Well, that
If you don't
the
beg
accents,
your pardon.
the accents reminds me of a joke. So this couple couldn't get pregnant, and so they adopted this beautiful German baby boy. And by the time that they had that the boy was like about to start talking, he didn't, and they were concerned. They took him to the doctor, and the doctor's like, everything physically is fine. He's just gonna have to wait till he's ready to say something. And so one night the mother makes schnitzel, and she pounds it out, and she fries it and does some spätzle with it, and she serves it. And the German boy, he saws off a piece and takes a bite, and he says, "Mother, this schnitzel is not very tender." And she goes, "Oh my God, you've never said anything before. Like, why did you decide to talk at this point?" And he goes, "Well, up to this point, everything was satisfactory."
Yep. That it. Okay.
Oof, that was late.
This is dead air.
But it's alive.
There it is.
There you go. Fix it in the edit.
I'm opening another beer.
To get back to the question,
What was the
I
question?
do like
Yeah. What
speaking
hurts
of.
after you're 30?
Oh,
Well, it's what changes have you noticed in your body post 30?
I'll also say you start like I don't mean to be racist. You start to see like face cracks. I wasn't trying to draw my eyes out. I was trying to. You get like the
Crow's
the
feet?
little- yeah. I don't know.
yeah.
I would just say like normal physical changes. If you're looking for advice, I would say even if you don't exercise, you don't walk, you don't do whatever, stretch. You gotta
Yeah.
stretch. Just stretch.
That's something that I've always struggled with my whole life. Is I feel like I'm super inflexible, and I don't make an effort to stretch. Like I just. Yeah,
I didn't
I'm
say
gonna.
I take my own advice. I'll go play basketball and just like walk onto the court.
Right.
And like there's like little times you're going and you're like, "Ooh, what is that? Oh, I got something in my foot. What does
Yeah.
that feel like?"
I've got
that
something in my
and you have
right
to like hop,
knee.
like you can't run. You're just like, "Oh," and then you just go a couple more times. You're like, maybe I should stretch that out next time,
Yeah.
and then you don't.
And then I don't. Yeah, same.
Ooh, I'll also say this. I don't know about. Well, I know for you, for fact, Brandon, you're a sweater. Jake,
Mhm.
Mm.
I like anything I do now. I sweat.
I
Like,
sweat a
my-
ton now.
my
I didn't
wife was
used to
even
sweat
like,
that much.
You're sweaty, and you just got home. Your back's all sweaty. You just got like you just like mowed the lawn. I was like, yeah, I know. I didn't used to, but for some reason I sweat a whole lot more.
What was really telling about that for me was that I would do sort of like low grade exercise or like play with the boys, soccer or something like that. And there have been a couple of times in the last, I want to say, year and a half that Anna has been like, "Oh my God, are you okay?" Because she thought I was having some sort of medical episode. I'm like,
No, my chest hurts.
You're right. I sweat a ton. And I actually wonder about being bald or balding that less hair is caught. I mean, less sweat is caught by hair. I wonder if it's because also decreased the volume of hair on the top of my head that I'm more sweaty. But I think it's actually an increase in sweat.
I sweat
Generally.
so much from my forehead. Like,
Yeah.
But see,
Yeah.
I used to never like, and I noticed it. Granted, it's a spot that you should be doing it, but I used to I sit in the sauna every day, and I used to get to the point the sand thing turns every 15 minutes, and I would get through one set of 15 minutes and start to sweat, and then the second 15 it'd be like really bad, and now it's like I just get in there and just start going. It's like I don't know if I need to get this checked out or not, or like all the toxicity is coming out.
Yeah, I
yeah,
will say just
for me, like when I have been in like the south or southern states, I do, like, as soon as I step outside of an air conditioned building, I just start sweating immediately.
So no
Yeah,
QN
North
trip
Carolina.
to Arizona in August.
ooh. That'll be
Yeah,
warm.
enjoy that.
Brandon just shows up naked.
Speaking of physical stuff, I do also, and maybe it's just because I don't or haven't been like strength training or anything like that, I just feel weaker. I don't know.
I feel
mean,
weaker about some
muscle
things.
tone goes down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've created projects around the house that have kept me at least a little bit. I feel like my strength has stayed the same. Actually, frankly, having the kids around is helpful. I pick them up a lot, whether we're playing or just like carting them to and from places.
Or body slams.
Body slams, yeah. Ooh, I just had mad deja vu. Have we talked about body slamming our kids before? Probably.
Yes.
I also I can't stay up as late anymore. Like, I used to be kind of a night owl, but now I do start getting pretty. I start kind
what's
of
bedtime
hitting
for
the
you?
wall around like 10. Well, we usually go to bed at 10, and then I stay up reading or whatever till like 10:30 or 11.
I'd say that's pretty late. Like I'm a sleep by 10, 9:30 guy. I guess I've always kind of been though. What about you, Jake? Well, I mean, it's
Yeah,
pushing.
I'm not a good example for this. Anna says I need more sleep, which I probably do, but I consistently stay up between 12 and 1.
Do you?
I know.
Go ahead.
Like, I've talked to like a couple weeks ago. I did trivia with a guy from the men's group, and he was saying like he watches, like he has a goal this year to watch a movie he hasn't seen every day, and he's a stay-at-home
Jeez.
dad with 3 kids, and so he does it all when they go to bed. So he's like a night owl, and I kind of feel like a lot of I've talked to a lot of people who are parents, especially men, like fathers, who I think it's like nighttime is when you can kind of get, time to yourself and do like pursue hobbies. Like there's a lot of guys who stay up gaming or, work on whatever, whatever you want to, or just drink in the garage or whatever however you unwind from your day. But I think that's just the time that you have to do those things.
Yeah, the stay-at-home dad thing, like, are they all school age?
He said they said like they were all like right in a row. It was like 3, 4, 5 or 4, 5, 6,
Okay.
something like that.
Okay,
Like,
so not quite, because like as somebody that works from home and has some pretty good flexibility, like in theory, because my kids are in school, I could watch like 3 movies a day while they're at school, or 2 movies a day.
yeah. And
I can't hang though. I can't do the whole, that's my free time, I'm going to stay up until 1 a.m. and game, or I don't know.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
challenging.
Yeah, we've talked about this before, but I think the phenomenon. It's called revenge sleep procrastination, and I just looked it up to define it. It's the practice of deliberately staying up late and sacrificing sleep to engage in leisurely activities that you don't have time for during the day, which I think is
Interesting.
like
Should be everybody, every adult.
yeah. Well, no, it's but it's like everyone has the option to do it, but a lot of people are like people who value sleep more than others people because it's like a deliberate choice of like, could I go to sleep? Yeah. And should I? And many nights I do, but some nights if I have energy, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be like a shark and sort of just continue swimming forward in order to achieve, whatever it is that
Do you
I'd
mess
like to
around with
work on.
those like 3D cities you were building? Do you still do that?
Yeah, like 3D render stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
Yep. Sometimes I'm doing that. I play some games sometimes. Video edit. I tinker around on like music stuff. So
Yeah, I noticed as I've gotten older, I stay up later, but it's usually just doom scrolling for whatever reason. Like I have 6 guitars here and 1 ukulele, like all within an arm's reach that I
yeah.
could be doing anything with. And I don't know why, but like I'm just like tired. I want to lay on the couch.
Right.
And
Well, I think doom scrolling is like a real danger. I consistently delete apps from my phone for a period of time because I feel like I have an addictive personality, but it's so easy for me to doom scroll or just to it's like a twiddling thumbs. It's like instead of doing something like, yeah, I mean, you can see behind me I've got 3 ukuleles and 2 guitars behind me, and they all have dust on them.
You
And
mentioned
it's
having an addictive personality. This might be a good time to dovetail into the next question.
ooh yeah, let's
But I mean, you
do
can
it.
finish your thought about
no, just that I think the algorithms are so attuned, like they're just well built, and the whole goal of all of these services is to occupy your time, and they're doing a bang up job of it. And I know I'm a target audience because it's so easy for me to pop open an app and lose 5 or 10 minutes, many times during a day. Do your guys' phones have like screen time,
Mhm.
like analytics?
yeah.
Yeah. Mine will
Mine's
even tell me how
depressing.
much I'm using it while you're driving.
Oh,
It's
geez.
like, ooh.
Yeah, I every time whenever it shows me my like average daily usage, I'm like, Jesus, like how, why? Some of it's for work, but not all of it.
I listen to podcasts on my phone all day. Does that count as phone usage? Like I'm
I
not
think
listening
I
to
think
my
it's
phone.
actually open. I think if you're playing music and stuff, it doesn't necessarily
While your
count.
screen is active.
Yeah, I think it's
Wow.
active screen time.
Well, then that's depressing.
Oh,
Let's get to the
jeez.
next question.
Because I've seen it before, and I'm like, oh, that must be just because I'm.
Well, you
listening
should
to
look up.
podcasts or whatever,
You
but-
should look up as it relates to your operating system because it might be podcast related. And actually, on iOS, it breaks down what apps you're in and how much time.
Yeah, I have Android, and yeah, it does the same. I'll have to look at it more closely. But the next question is also from Ask Reddit and from Indie Riots. They ask, what's the most accepted addiction? What's the most accepted addiction? And I'll say right off the bat, the top answer is phone addiction.
Yeah.
Porn.
Is it accepted?
I don't know.
It's probably yeah. I mean, it's an addiction, but is it accepted?
I don't know. Like I guess like fast food or soda or junk food and all that. Is that on
Yeah,
there?
sugar. high
Yeah, there's
fructose corn syrup.
processed food addiction.
I think phones are
Phones, yeah,
pretty
screens is number one.
pretty rough.
Yeah. I mean, the next answer is this person says, as a mail carrier, it has to be shopping. The same houses every day, 365, get 3 to 4 every day.
Ooh, good point. Amazon addiction. That one click. I know a couple people that have that.
So what I think is, I'm going to go on a soapbox here for a second. I think that capitalism
Oh boy.
it is really tough. Like that's the whole point, right? That's the whole, like, Amazon's doing exactly what it's intending to do, and it's succeeding. And in a ideal capitalist situation, they are perfectly performing.
It also
And
does serve a very good purpose.
yes,
I would argue that it did.
I don't disagree with you, because we get
specific
plenty.
example.
Okay.
Specific example is when I had to fix my faucets. There was one of the nuts that went down that was it was warped and it wouldn't go back on. So I
Yeah.
went to Home Depot. I went to the plumbing specific hardware store in Vancouver, and I went to their recommendation, and none of them have it. I looked on Amazon and I got it the next day. That one specific nut. And it was like, sure, I'm not buying like, ooh, I need some whatever trinkets that I found. Like, it was very useful. Because they're like, oh, the next spot that claims that they actually have it is in Tigard. For me, that's an hour
That's a
drive
long
one
way,
way.
yeah.
I was like, fuck that.
No, I totally I hear you there, because I'm just as guilty. Like, I have a fragile soapbox, because we frequently get stuff from Amazon. But I do think it's interesting that in a I think it might be an addiction, but it's also like
Too convenient.
well, it's institutionally supported, right? Like it's there's no dissuading to it. For instance, there's Surgeon General warnings on cigarettes and alcohol. And then with phones, there's like heaps of studies out about like screen time and what it does to young brains and blah blah blah, whatever. But the shopping element and the consumerism, the consumption addiction, or I won't call it an addiction, but like the rate at which people consume stuff is like there's no guardrails, I guess.
Are you still
not that
buying
there
stuff
should-
from Temu, Matt?
No, I haven't bought anything in a while. Although, like going to Jake's point, Temu now has a relationship with Amazon, and you can get certain things on Temu from Amazon quicker.
Wait,
which
what's
is-
Temu again?
Temu's that like Chinese app where you can get like
Oh.
15 t-shirts for $1.97 or whatever. Speaking of, I'm going to Vegas in a month. I probably should get some fun things to take down there. Good reminder,
yeah.
Brandon.
Speaking of Temu,
This
Yeah,
episode
Temu,
sponsored by Amazon, powered by Temu, or Temu powered by Amazon. Yeah.
What other answers we got?
Well, there's caffeine.
oh,
Okay,
caffeine's
there you
good.
Something I would say is it seems like it's cropped up lately since they've legalized it, but gambling, like especially sports betting, like you can't
Yeah.
watch a sporting game, like a game or event, without like
Brought to
seeing
you
an
by
ad or
DraftKings.
anything for DraftKings or FanDuel or any of those things.
Which
Yeah,
it's funny. I actually follow a guy who's like all he does is Vegas specific stuff, and he airs out kind of like the casino and the management's dirty laundry. And over Vegas lost, what was it, like 40% consumership in Vegas in 2024, and they was comparing like online gambling to like and their profit revenue versus Vegas's. It's like you don't have to fly to Vegas anymore to use a sports book, right? That was a federal thing. Like you can do that pretty much anywhere. I find that to be pretty interesting.
Is
You
that
can
why
also like
are they
gamble
trying
on
to make up
anything.
ground that way by like everything is more expensive now in Vegas and
Yeah,
there's more attractions and things like that rather than like it seems like there's like a de-emphasis on casinos and more of an emphasis on going to, you know, shows that cost $200 a ticket or
That
like
you can't see
dinners that
anywhere
are
else, right?
$200 a
Yeah.
person or whatever,
yeah.
you know.
The experience. Oh, you want to eat at so and so's restaurant? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it could be. Yeah, online gambling definitely socially accepted. And you can do it on like you can bet on anything. It's crazy.
Have you done it? Like
I've done the
use
sports book. We can't in Washington. Washington is one of the only states that we can't do online gambling.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't done it. I feel like
You'd
like
get too
I
deep.
don't well, I feel like that would just be too easy. Like I don't feel like I'm a gambling addict. Like when I go to the casino, I don't just sit there all day, but um I feel like that would just make it too easy to like it's a
Yeah.
But you can
Pandora's
see where
box that you're opening.
right, you can see where it's fun, but you also don't really need that.
Right. Well, I don't even know if it's fun, but
I would say
yeah.
like the slot machines aren't fun because I think they're preordained. It's one of those money in and nothing out. Like
Yeah.
I don't
I
know.
mean they're just
Table
there's
games has
random
some
number generators, but
right. Like table games has a little bit more pizzazz. But anyway,
Yeah.
yeah.
I remember it was late last year that FanDuel came to North Carolina, and the advertising that went into that was so substantial, and I just can't help but think like there's a lot of North Carolina that's in poverty, and you know it's troubling. I can't help but think the people that Kevin Hart's yelling at to to place bets on sports, it's never sat well with me, and just seeing the big push of like, oh, finally now you can do this, I'm like, geez, really? But
There's a really good John Oliver segment on it a few
I
weeks
saw that
ago.
recently.
Yeah,
I'll have to seek it out. I haven't seen it.
but yeah, other answers in here. People put sugar. Yeah, like being a workaholic.
We've talked about that workaholic, like in cinema and in television shows, the detective that ruins his family to solve a crime is such a trope that's sort of like applauded, or maybe not applauded, but like
Yeah, that question is what is
celebrated.
the brag? What is the brag that isn't really a brag kind of a
Yeah.
thing?
Oh yeah, that's right.
This person
Well-
says weed. I mean, for them, I will say like it does seem like for as much as people claim that it's non-addictive, there are a lot of people who use it all day, every day.
Because it feels good, bro.
Yeah, I know.
And there's a lot of people who drink all day every day because I think it feels
Right,
good.
and but that's like a recognized addiction. But like,
Yeah.
Well, there's also addictive properties
Yes.
to it, right? There's like
To
physically
marijuana?
No, to alcohol.
Oh yeah.
yeah,
I don't know
Whereas
nothing about the marijuana.
supposedly marijuana doesn't have addictive properties, and I bet there's a listener to the show that would like to comment on this. But it does seem like there are some people who
who might be on this very panel. Who,
It's not addictive.
No. I've definitely known a few people that it's. So I think so. Anna was talking about addiction and how, like the various ways it can be.
well, like gambling or shopping aren't physical addictions, but they're recognized as addictions.
Right.
It's all that screen time. It's got the hook.
It's one of the ways that you can define it is that you do it consistently at the expense of other sort of normal things like your job, your relationships. And when it's at the expense of those things, then it can be, considered an addiction, and or just whether or not you've slapped the title addiction on it or not. Like if it's disruptive to your life in a negative way, then it's something worth
Look,
examining.
what does she know?
Well, I know there are guys who are like, like, oh yeah, this job would pay a lot more, but I can't do it because they do piss tests. And it's like, well, you can't
don't do
stop
that.
smoking to like better your life for whatever. But
Yeah.
That also seems like one of those, like, oh, I can't do it because they do piss tests. And it's like, yeah, right, you're a felon, aren't you? Like, it seems like one of those cop outs, like one of a cop out of an excuse, or like something that somebody thinks is cool to say. It's like, oh, you do drugs? Yeah. It's like, it's not a drug. It's not a drug anymore, I guess. Anyway, don't do drugs. Don't gamble, kids.
Well, we've sufficiently brought it down. I think
Good news.
I think it's probably time to put this puppy to bed.
We cured the world. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Oh yeah. You're welcome, Internet.
Sign up for our Patreon and support us. That's your free. That's a freebie.
Yeah.
my soundboard froze up.
Aw.
Was it going to be the more you know?
The smoke weed every day.
Okay. But
He's just clicking it frantically, and now it's going to play like 15 times.
Well, it's not working for
oh
me.
shit! Here we go again.
Yeah, there you go. We'll get on the next episode.
Who needs a soundboard? We're three soundboards right here. Dropping some.
Anyway,
Well,
alrighty, listeners.
Thank you all
Brandon,
for
sign us
listening.
off.
Please support the show over at Patreon at patreon.com/qualified nonsense. Watch us over at youtube@youtube.com/@qualified nonsense. Feel free to send any questions or comments to qualifiednonsense@gmail.com or hit us up on our socials found in the episode description. And after you've done all that, please also rate, review, share, like, and subscribe on your podcast app of choice. We'll see you back here next week for another brand new episode of Qualified Nonsense.
Sleep tight.
Adios.
Or good morning.